Hi guys, I'd like to welcome you guys all back to Read with Melanin. Today we are, of course, talking about the books that are coming out in the month of July that I want to read. As always, let's put the disclaimer, just because I am saying that I want to read this book doesn't mean that I'm reading this book in the month of July. It also doesn't mean that I'm telling you you should read the books. No, this video is not sponsored, but I would love somebody to sponsor me. Yes, I do sometimes get books from Penguin Teen and Macmillan Audio, but if I do get those books were given to me because these are books I actually want to read versus them just giving me a book. So with that being said, let's get on to this list. The first book, it comes out July 2nd, and it is The Night Ends with Fire by KX Song. I've never heard of KX Song. So I'm just gonna tell y'all right now, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it's about, but it says, infused with magic and romance, this sweeping fantasy adventure inspired by the legend of Mulan follows a young woman determined to choose her own destiny, even if that means going against everyone she loves. The three kingdoms are at war, but Melan's, okay, y'all could have gave us a better name, but Melan's father refuses to answer the imperial draft. Trapped by his opium addiction, he plans to sell Melan for her dowry. But when Melan discovers her husband-to-be is another violent, ill-tempered man, she realizes that nothing will change for her unless she takes matters into her own hands. The very next day, she disguises herself as a boy and enlists in her father's place. In the army, Melan's relentless hard work brings her recognition, friendship, and a growing closeness with Sky, a prince turned training partner. But as she simply exchanged one prison for another, has she exchanged one prison for another? As her kingdom barrels towards destruction, Melan begins to have visions of a sea dragon spirit that offers her true power and freedom, but with a deadly price. With the future of the three kingdoms hanging in the balance, Melan will need to decide whom to trust. Sky, who inspires her loyalty and love, the sea dragon spirit, who has his own murky agenda, or an infuriating enemy prince who makes her question everything she once knew about her kingdom and about her own heart. So here's my question. Do these two princes know that she's a girl, or are these two princes... Listen, I'm out for this little mix. That was my question when I first read this. I was like, I'm intrigued. But okay, so that's the first book. What genre is this? This is fantasy retelling. It is an adult fantasy and it's listed as high romance. It's listed as high fantasy. I don't know why I said romance. On to the next book. Obviously, this book is on my list. It's been on my list since last year. It is Masquerade by O.O. Sangoyomi. This book came out July 2nd. So by the time you're watching this book is already out. I will say that I ordered a special edition of this book, and I know that it's supposed to be in the Fairy Loot, but I was given the audiobook by Macmillan Audio, and I'm very grateful for y'all for that because I started listening to Masquerade at work, and baby, I can definitely say that I hope with all of my being that it keeps going the way that it's going, because if it does, this might be my first 5-star read. Might be. But for those of you who still have not heard of Masquerade, even though I know if you've been on this channel, you've heard about Masquerade at least once. But just in case you forgot, it says, set in a wonderfully reimagined 15th century West Africa, Masquerade is a dazzling lyrical tale exploring the true cost of one woman's fight for freedom and self-discovery, and the lengths she'll go to secure her future. Ododo's hometown of Timbuktu has been conquered by the warrior king of Yorubaland. Already shunned as social pariah, living conditions for Ododo and the other women in her blacksmith guild grow even worse under Yoruba rule. Then Ododo is abducted. She is whisked across the Sahara to the capital city of Sangote, where she is shocked to discover that her kidnapper is none other than the vagrant who had visited her guild just days prior. But now that he is swathed in riches rather than rags, Ododo realizes he is not a vagrant at all. He is the warrior king, and he has chosen her to be his wife. So this is supposed to be loosely based on the myth of Persephone. I can kind of see that in the book a little bit, but honestly, I don't think about it as like a loose retelling of Persephone so far. The parts that I'm in, I'm enjoying it because I am very intrigued by the Warrior King for many reasons. And to the point where this might be a book that I actually do a separate review chat video on, because I've already noticed some things that I want to talk about. So yeah. Anyways, this book comes out, like I said, July 2nd. This book is listed as a fantasy, also as a retelling, but again, I have to see if this really is giving me retelling or not. So yeah, we'll see. This next book comes out July 9th, and it is a mystery, and It's Elementary by Elise Bryant. Y'all do know, I don't know if, I feel like if you've watched my videos, y'all know I love a good mystery book. So this one, it says, a fast-paced, completely delightful new mystery about what happens when parents get a little too involved in their kids' schools, from NAACP Image Award nominee Elise Bryant. Oh, nice little put in there. Mavis Miller is not a PTA mom. She has enough on her plate with her feisty 7-year-old daughter Pearl, an exhausting job at a nonprofit, and the complexities of a multi-generational household. So no one is more surprised than Mavis when she caves to Trisha Holbrook, the long-reigning, slightly terrifying PTA president, and finds herself in charge of a school's brand new DEI committee. As one of the few Black parents at this California elementary school, Mavis tries to convince herself that this is an opportunity for real change. But things go off the rails at the very first meeting when the new principal's plan leaves Trisha absolutely furious. Later that night, when Mavis spies Trisha in yellow rubber gloves and booties, lugging cleaning supplies, giant black trash bags to her waiting minivan, it's only natural that her mind jumps to somewhere it surely wouldn't in the light of day. Except Principal Smith fails to show up for work the next morning and has been MIA since that meeting. Determined to get to the bottom of things, Mavis, along with the school psychologist with the great forearms, launches an investigation that will challenge her views on parenting, friendship, and elementary school politics. Brilliantly written, It's Elementary is quick-witted, escapist romp that perfectly captures just how far parents will go to give their kids the very best, all wrapped in a mystery that will leave you guessing to the very end. I am excited to see if it is a mystery that will leave me guessing to the end, or if I will be able to make predictions and guess correctly. If I remember, I'm gonna do a reel when I start the book, and when we get to the actual like part of the mystery, I'm gonna do a reel to see if I can like track what I guess and see if I'm right at the end. Yeah. But like I said, this is listed as a mystery, thriller, adult fiction. It even listed in the cozy mystery category, but we'll see, because I've noticed that a lot of publishers, the same way that romantasy is a buzzword, so is the word cozy. And so I see books on cozy lists that are not supposed to be there all the time. So I'll let y'all know if this is actually cozy or not. The next book that I wanted to read, and actually did read in June because I was sent this book by Macmillan Audio, is The Spell Shop by Sarah Beth Durst. This comes out July 9th. This is in fact a cozy fantasy. I can definitely verify that this is in fact considered a cozy fantasy. I don't consider it a cozy mystery. I know it's listed in that list, but it's not. It does have magic in it, so that was why I gravitated towards it. So it says a gorgeous, let's see, it's described as a lush cottagecore tale full of stolen spellbooks, unexpected friendships, sweet jams, and an even sweeter love. Keela has always had trouble dealing with people. Thankfully, as a librarian at the Great Library of Elysium, she and her assistant Kaz, a magically sentient spider plant, have spent the last decade sequestered among the Empire's most precious spellbooks, preserving their magic for the city's elite. When a revolution begins and the library goes up in flames, she and Cass flee with all the spellbooks they can carry and head to a remote island Keela never thought she'd see again, her childhood home. Taking refuge there, she discovers, much to her dismay, a nosy and very handsome neighbor who can't take a hint that keeps showing up day after day to make sure she is fed and to help fix her new home. In need of income, you know what? I'm not going to read the rest of that. I think that's a good enough place to start. If you want like a cute fantasy read with a little bit of magic, this book is the one for you. I like it. It's to the point where I'm actually going to look into more like cozy fantasy, because this was a very chill read. It was a very chill, quick read. There weren't any really major like twists and turns. I really enjoyed the characters. I felt like the description of everything was good. All of that. I think I talked about this already, but yeah, The Spell Shop. This book comes out July 30th, and it is Between Lovers and Friends by Charlene Obuba. I could not say her name, I'm sorry. This one is adult fiction. It is a contemporary romance. Like I said, I am legit testing out different authors so I can add more to the naked author list for Black Prose Club, which that's coming up in August, BT dubs. Okay, so this one says, to her countless Instagram followers, Josephine Boateng is the dazzling Dr. Jojo, and her opinions on health, growth, and self-love matter. Her message: be smart. She has a medical degree after all. Be significant and do not put up with foolish men. But behind the camera, Jo's story is more complicated. She finds her influencer career underwhelming, her potential career in medicine overwhelming, and she's hung up on her best friend, Nepo baby and rom-com heartthrob, Ezra Alderman. When Ezra shows up to his 30th birthday party with her childhood bully on his arm, however, Josephine realizes that it's time to take her own advice and prioritize herself for once. No one is more shocked than Malcolm Waters when his debut novel turns into a critic's darling. When he's invited to a swanky penthouse party to discuss turning his book into a film, he knows rubbing elbows with the elites of entertainment will be great for his career. The only problem is he's not really good with people, and even worse at networking. Same, bro. Just when he's about to throw in the towel, he's rescued by none other than Dr. Jojo. So I think this is going to be cute. I hope it's going to be cute. I don't have big expectations when it comes to romance books, as long as they're like not trash. But I am interested in reading this one. We shall see how I feel. This next book comes out July 30th and is The Bookshop Sisterhood by Michelle Lindo Rice. I think I've already talked about this on this channel already, but it is a adult contemporary and it's women's fiction. So it's supposed to be, you know, about the girls. And I will say this is me looking for more Black women in books where they are living their life and dealing with like normal drama that's not always laced in stuff about racism. So hopefully this is good. It says, after years of hard work, four best friends, Celeste, Yasmin, Tony, and Leslie, are finally on the verge of opening the bookstore of their dreams. A place where their community can find solace with an intriguing new read, a comforting beverage, and book-loving friends. But before they can cut the ribbon, their worlds are upended. Tony receives devastating news just months before her wedding, while Celeste's struggling marriage threatens to collapse completely. Leslie learns a shocking secret behind her family, and a lottery ticket changes Yasmin's life, but not for the better. As the bookstore's grand opening fast approaches, the four women must lean on each other now more than ever to navigate their grief and uncertainty, and together they'll learn that sometimes even life's most unexpected plot twists can lead to beautiful beginnings. Whew, that was a mouthful. I did not space that out. I'm sorry. But I am intrigued. I think I've already talked about this. Hopefully Black Prose Club will be coming back this second half of the year. And so this is one of the books that we wanted to read as a group. So we will be doing another read along on Black Prose Club if you guys are interested. I will have more information about that after we have our July meeting. Now, I will say this book, I did not know it was coming out until I received it from Macmillan Audio. So surprisingly, this one, I just thought, why not? I've never read anything from this author. So this one comes out July 9th. It is Let the Games Begin by Rufaro Faith Mazarura. This book is another adult contemporary, but it is a sports romance. And it's funny because I'm friends with Oshale, who loves sports romance. I have never, outside of Alexandria House, I don't think I've done any sports related romances yet. And so I figured, why not let this be the first one? It says, set against a sizzling hot Greek summer filled with sunshine and Slovakia, Rufaro Faith Muzarura lets the games begin is a page-turning debut rom-com. Oh, this is her debut book. Cool. Two strangers at the top of their game. Athens 2024. Olivia has always been ambitious, smart, and overall go-getter. Now that she's graduated from university, she's willing to do whatever it takes to land her dream job at the Summer Games. The first step, securing her new internship, which will put her into the center of the action, where she hopes to run into some of her favorite athletes. Ezekiel Moya, the heartthrob star runner of Team Great Britain, is more than ready to claim his title as the fastest man in the world, following in the footsteps of the greatest athletes of all time. His future to the finish line is looking bright, despite his recent breakup and with celebrated gymnast Valentina Ross Rodriguez constantly making headlines. When Olivia and Zeke collide, literally on the first day of training, sparks fly. But the competition starts stirring up uncomfortable memories for Zeke's past, and Olivia's internship doesn't turn out to be what she expected. Will they overcome these hurdles and achieve their dreams, or will they come at the cost of their budding romance? So this one I can definitely tell you, I will be listening to the audiobook. I don't know. It just feels like an audiobook read, but I'll let you guys know my thoughts on it, during my wrap up next month. There were 3 other books that I wanted to read, and I'm still trying to understand how the boycott works, but these particular books are under St. Martin's Press and that conglomerate, and until they do what they need to do and speak out against that really, really xenophobic employee that they had, I cannot in good conscience highlight their books in any way. So if I do read those books, they will be included in the count. But I won't actually be discussing them until after they get it together. But there are 3 more books on the list, so we'll see if I get to them or not. Thank you guys so much for checking out my channel, and until the next time, guys, bye.